Suspect plugging away in third. They run down to the final furlong. It's Steiner on top by 7 lengths over Crypto Causeway, who's skimming the inside in second. 16th to go. Steiner is clear by 5, and Steiner was a cut above the rest. Crypto Causeway second, Royal Suspect third, Post Facto fourth. Finger Lakes Bonus Bets is offering incredible 8% rewards on your Finger Lakes wagers. Simply wager $2,500 per month on racing from Finger Lakes. And they're off. Decent start. It's 5 aces, 1 of 3 setting out for the lead. Bastino Santino at the fence as its Smile takes charge, who's sandwiched in between horses in third. A gap of 4 lengths back to Enticing Prospect in fourth, 3 lengths to Socks for Daughters, who's 2.5 lengths in front of Revivalism, who sets up shop at the tail of the field. Up the backstretch, half mile to go. Bastino Santino on top by a half. 5 aces pestering outside second. Smile takes charge in third, 3.5 lengths off the lead. A gap of 3 to Enticing Prospect in the 4th spot, and then a margin of 4 to Revivalism, who will put Socks for Daughters in the 6th in trailing position. 2.5 furlongs to go, and 5 aces taking it to Bastino Santino. These two in tandem with a quarter of a mile left to travel. Enticing Prospect on the extreme outside as Revivalism's inside of him, and those two are closing in as a team. A few chances here with 3/16 to go. Bastino Santino and 5 aces have been softened up. Here comes Revivalism and Enticing Prospect, and they brush in mid-stretch. 16th to go. Revivalism's game. Enticing Prospect not going away on the outside. Another bump and deep stretch. Enticing Prospect, Revivalism. Enticing Prospect wins over Revivalism. Bastino Santino third. Double $10.20. Exacted $19.20. 50-cent try, $13. They're all in the gate. And they're off. Starship Tango takes the initiative and establishes an early lead over Rhymes Like Dimes. Count Frosta is on the outside, will be stuck out 3 wide around that first turn. Roses Pepino's behind the tri-leaders in 4th, and our man Mike takes residency at the tail of the field as they navigate the first turn. Starship Tango wanted that lead and has it by 3 parts of a length with 6.5 furlongs to go. Rhymes Like Dimes harassing outside second. A gap of about 2 lengths to the gray. Count Frost, who's in the 3rd spot, then 5 lengths to Roses Pepino, is 2 lengths in front of our man Mike, who trails the field. They race up the backstretch. It's Starship Tango, who leads by a half length, 3 parts of a length over Rhymes Like Dimes, who stalks in second. As it's Count Frost who gets closer in the 3rd spot. 3 lengths to Roses Pepino, who's about 2 lengths in front of our man Mike, who trails the field. As they make the entry into the far turn, Starship Tango has led every step of the way. The lead's still 3 parts of a length. Rhymes Like Dimes takes another crack at that one outside in second. Now the pace picks up in earnest. As Count Frost is nudged upon in third, our man Mike saves all the ground towards the inside 4th. Now up into third, 5 lengths off the lead, and Roses Pepino trails the field, and Rhymes Like Dimes takes over the lead at the top of the stretch. Starship Tango, it now shifts to the outside in second as our man Mike had to angle even further out in third. They got 1 furlong to go. Rhymes Like Dimes opens up by 7 lengths over our man Mike, who's up in the second, but it's Rhymes Like Dimes who crushes in this race. Our man Mike second, Roses Pepino third, Starship Tango fourth. Good afternoon and welcome to Finger Lakes. Will you please rise as we present with pride our national anthem? Good afternoon to everyone and welcome to Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack, a Tuesday afternoon of thoroughbred horse racing. Track at Finger Lakes is fast. Got about 58 minutes to race number one. My name is Bill Downs, track announcer here at Finger Lakes, and I've got the scratches and changes for today's card. In the first race, first four races, so no changes in races 1, 2, 3, or 4. In the fifth race, got a couple scratches. Got a scratch of part of the entry, the one gray-haired Gus. Number 1 gray-haired Gus is a scratch. Scratch number 4, Magic Beach. Magic Beach is out. Late work for number 6, Stormy's Dreaming at Finger Lakes, June 20th, 4 furlongs fast surface, 50.10. Breezing. Race number 6. Scratch number 5, Joyful Departure. Number 5, Joyful Departure, a scratch from race number 6. Seventh race, a scratch of number 4, Eric from Miami. Number 4, Eric from Miami is a scratch from the 7th race. Eighth and final, scratch number 5, Giant at Work. Number 5, Giant at Work, a scratch in the 8th and final. That's a look at the scratches and changes here at Finger Lakes. Track is listed as fast, 57 minutes to race number 1. Handicapping with Dave is next. Have fun and good luck.
And welcome everybody to Finger Lakes Gaming and Racetrack. As you know, we did end up canceling yesterday. We are getting a heat wave here in western New York the last couple of days. It's supposed to be a few degrees cooler today, so we're going to give it a go. We did move Monday's card yesterday. We canceled it, but we moved it to Thursday. So we are going to run the next 3 days. So we're going to have a rare Thursday card. I got to remember that. Make sure I come to work that day. But yes, Thursday, 1 o'clock, first post. Everything else remains the same. You know, just a few weeks till the New York Derby day. Man, time is going quick as we're right into the summer. All of a sudden, we didn't have much of a spring, mostly rain, and all of a sudden, boom, summer hits. Gotta get the paddleboard out on the lake now. Gotta give a congratulations to our trainer Jeremiah Engelhardt. He's watching Moplex won the Ohio Derby. Man, New York bred. I mean, that horse did show some talent last year. They did bet the horse a little bit, but that was a big purse, like $500,000. Grade 3 Ohio Derby. That was at Thistledown the other day. Congratulations to him. It's always good to see any of our locals do well. Of course, always mentioned Ray Gutierrez just keeps winning races. On a sad note, I do want to mention, one of the greatest guys I know that work here. He recently left Finger Lakes, talking about Joe Pelosi. He was EMT here for many years. He was working backside security. He was recently injured pretty badly, I believe, just getting involved doing his security job. And I want to mention we do have a GoFundMe set up for him. If you know Joe, if you work here at the racetrack, it's a good cause. He's going to need a little bit of help with medical bills and, of course, household bills. So I did post, I don't know, somebody else had set the GoFundMe up, but I did want to kind of promote it so we could get some money in there for Joe to help him out. I mean, we're talking about a guy that would help anybody else out if they needed it. So I got it posted on Dave Mattice Race Preview Show on Facebook, also on my Twitter account, X account, I think they call it now. I think it might be, I don't even know how to use Twitter that well. I think my name's Dave Tice on there, so if you're looking for that, I think it's posted some other places as well. But help Joe Pelosi out. Man, he's a great guy, and it was just sad news to hear. Just an awful world it is out there. I'll go out and beat up all the bad guys out there. Anyway, Joe's one of the good guys, and just hope he heals up and a quick recovery for Joe. Okay, let's look at today's card. Fast racetrack, obviously. They're going to have to keep a lot of water down on the track today because we're going to get some heat. But first race of $5,000 maiden claimers going 6 furlongs. Remember, we start the early pick 5 with a mandatory payout, and then the late one is the last 5 races of the day, and that has the carryover. Tough first race. I mean, it's a 5,000 maiden, but like a few of the races today, there's a lack of pace. So before you watch the races and you see the horses not close much ground today, I try to kind of look at all variables before calling a track that's favoring speed closers or whatever. But there's some races today that are just void of any early pace, and this is one of them. So I'm kind of making an assumption of who's going to get the lead in here, and I'm making an assumption off of one race. It's probably a mistake to do, but with these 5,000 maidens that aren't showing any speed, you got a horse coming in here basically dropping in class. Destin of Robin, maybe you get Troy Smith into the winner's circle here early in the year. Also Laird Bailey, who just recently joined us. Yeah, this should be easier for Destin of Robin than what he faced. Now, we see the halves have run here. You got, who's it? Robin's Giants hasn't really done anything. Flying Destiny hasn't really done anything. But, this one maybe could show a little bit more, dropping a 5. I mean, you couldn't have caught an easier group. And if we could get the lead in here, that might be all you need. I know it's 6 furlongs. It's not like it's a short race. But I'm just going to take a shot at a little bit of a price in here. Right now, at odds of 11-1. Early. It's early. I see they're all over the Engelhardt horse. Chicago Charlie could be the other one that may show a little bit of speed. He did have a little trouble at the start. And I thought he ran better than Saratoga Weekend did in that race, considering that he had the bad start. He had to rush up a little bit and then was passed late by Saratoga Weekend, who was no threat at all to Mischief Exposed, who just outbroke the field and just ran and hide and hit. I mean, this one didn't break all that fast either, but not as bad as Chicago Charlie did. I'm talking about Saratoga Weekend. So I would think Chicago Charlie ran the better race of the two, considering it was his first career start. He did take a little money. He had some nice works leading up to that debut. You notice the bullet works. So with a better start today and getting into the race, I think this horse could be awfully tough. Right now, he's at odds of 5-1. A lot of early play. We're talking 50 minutes to post for Saratoga Weekend, who's had a couple chances at 5,000. Again, ran into a horse that just outbroke the gate, had dropped down from a special weight the race before, and was just too good for that field. And, you know, both Chicago Charlie and Saratoga Weekend come out of that race. Yeah, speaking of Jeremiah Engelhardt, solo act also comes out of the race. Really didn't get a call in there, but didn't break. Probably got the worst of it as far as the break. I mean, at least Chicago Charlie broke a little bit better than solo act. It just took him a little while to get his footing going on the racetrack after they opened the gate. So he could be any kind here. He didn't take any money that race. I guess that's the bad sign for solo act. It was his first career start. And that's the thing with Chicago Charlie and solo act. It's never a positive when you make your first career start for 5,000. That means they don't think much of you, but they also might be in the proper spot as well. So tricky first race. Saratoga Weekend looks like he's going to be a short price, but man, he's had some chances. Definitely got to use them though. I'm going to go with the 2-4-5, throwing the 6-4. All right, second race, a 5,000 maiden claimer, going a distance of 1 mile. Again, bottom maidens. This for the fillies and the mares. Got to go a little further. This is a tricky one because this is a better race. Usually the routes, whether it's the boys or the girls, are generally easier, but this race came up pretty tough, even though it's a smaller field of 6 horses for 5,000 maidens, because you got 3 drop downs in here. I think the 3 drop downs, 1, 2, 3. I mean, how do you not? You got Digital Currency, who's got pretty good form at the 11-9 level, going a better distance. I would think is a better distance for this horse. They got Tempers Tada, I think that's how you say it. Not really bred for the distance, but drops in class from a special weight. I mean, a little bit on the damn side. You got Touch Gold there, but I would think that's the advantage of these drop downs as far as the breeding and for the route anyway, would be Digital Currency. I know Tempers Tada makes a bigger drop. He doesn't belong going these routes anyway. This horse would probably be pretty good going 6 furlongs. It would probably be right in this horse's ballpark. So I would think that Digital Currency might have that advantage of being a little better. I mean, it's not like we're going 1.125 miles or 1.25 miles. We're only going 1 mile. But the other thing with Digital Currency, he's got pretty good form in the sprints, and he should be better going long, while Tempers Tada should be better going short. So that's kind of how I looked at those two, because they look like the 2 main rivals in this race. I wouldn't be surprised with either one of them. I like them both. Anytime you see horses like this drop to 5,000, you got to think they're going to be awfully formidable. And Digital Currency started off her career against Churchill competition, then went to New Jersey to face Monmouth competition. This is the easiest spot she's been in and it's 5,000. She's going to be tough. So, and same thing with Tempers Tada. She's only made 2 career starts. Her first start was in New York, 7 furlong, never really in it. She did take a little bit of money in that race. And then the mile here, obviously a lot better race. She had trouble in the race, but they're giving up on her, dropping her to 5,000. I don't think that's a positive sign. But again, you'd love her if it was 6 furlongs. You got to kind of like her going a mile today. Secord at least has races in the past. They'll be tough in here. She's tried different surfaces with the turf. I mean, she does take a significant drop. I mean, she showed nothing in that route last time, and you'd expect her to run better. I mean, she ran second against 10,000 maiden claimers at Tampa. She should have run better than that. So she could be another one to consider just on the drop in class. Widow still needs to get a good trip. Cruising to win, should show some speed in here. War Terminatrix needs artificial surface. So that's kind of the breakdown of race number 2. Okay, third race, a $5,000 maiden claimer, another one. This for fillies and mares, going 5.5 furlongs. Again, mention it, like the first race for the bottoms, this race lacks in any kind of early speed. And you're getting some flip-flops of jockeys. Andre Wari stays with Crystal, rode for Engelhardt. Jose Rojina rode Chizateca. Now he's on Only in My Dreams. I like all those. Seem like the 3. Although Brent Bond horse might show some speed. And here's the problem with this race: the lack of pace. Had a deep, way outside post last time. A day that speed was great. He made the move to the front, and then that was the one race that they closed in. Go figure. Sometimes when you talk about bottom maidens, the bias doesn't matter when they all are gunning for the lead. Going to lean towards Only in My Dreams. Was a beaten favorite last time. I know Andre gets off to ride Crystal, but she drops, and that's the big thing in here. I'm a little concerned about the pace flow, though. I don't know if she's the one that's going to have speed in here. I mean, Chizateca certainly doesn't. I think the 2 possibilities of speed are probably Disco Drama and Crystal. So Only My Dreams might have to overcome a little bit, trying to stay close and chase after the speed. Comes out of a better race. I mean, Divorce, of course, was a big, long shot, but was also a drop down. I think they actually bet Divorce, of course, late. I say big long. Should have bet a big long shot. I think there was some smart money on that horse. I mean, you look at the race, Kitty War, Stage Conflict, they'd all be favored at the $5,000 level because there were a bunch of drop downs in the 11-9 race where they were coming from special weights and all over. Now she drops again to 5,000. This should be a lot easier, and she did have the bad start. She did stumble the start, so a little more reason to like Only in My Dreams. You'd like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's 5,000, and that could be the difference. Again, Crystal might have a tactical edge if Disco Drama doesn't show speed, and that's the key to the race. I mean, Disco Drama, this is the first full out of the Plenty of Chrome. I think that horse ran here. Does show some good work, so maybe that horse shows some speed in here. There's just, it's 5.5 furlongs, and there really is none. Crystal is the only one that has shown some tactical speed, but she just has had too many chances. It looked like if she was going to win, it was going to be maybe 2 races back against La Indecente. That was kind of a weak field. Just mentioned War Terminatrix is in the route the race before. But I mean, Dharma was a big drop down. Again, she made the move to the front. You're not going to beat Dharma in that race. You're just not. She was dropping from a special weight to a 5,000. Again, sometimes those drops are just too good. It's not like Dharma was running that badly against special weights either, so she was much the best. But Crystal kind of lost interest at the end and faded to 5th. Different scenario here. It's shorter. It's 5.5 furlongs, and there's a lack of pace. So maybe a chance to her to finally get through the maiden condition. Chizateca finally woke up a little bit last time. I mean, I liked her early in her career as a 2-year-old, but she just didn't run. They took the blinkers off. I think the blinkers off may have helped. But again, it's not like she's showing any kind of early speed. At least she was a little closer. Maybe she shows a little more speed here. It's usually the opposite. They put the blinkers on, they show a little more speed. But she was able to lay closer last time, and she draws the rail here. So, again, if she does, she was a little more in the race last time. If that's the case again, after the equipment change of 5.5 in a paceless race, she's another one that has a big chance in here. But those are the big 3. I don't, you know, maybe Disco Drama can play a little bit if that one runs first out. Again, when they start for 5,000 as a first-time starter, I normally kind of shy away from them with the sense that, you know, why don't you try for the bigger purse, at least the first start, if you like the horse. But a lot of times, these trainers are sharp where they know where to place them. Fourth race, a never won 3 condition, going 6 furlongs. Again, like the maiden races, this race doesn't have a lot for early speed. Maybe 5 destinations could show some speed. I mean, you're going from 42 to 1 to 7 to 2 today. And the thing is, John Protege actually was ahead of 5 destinations in the 6 furlong race last time. Maybe because she was inside, or he was inside of him. Maybe that had something to do with it. I'm actually kind of hoping that's the scenario here, where John's Protege holds the rail on 5 destinations. If not, he's going to be close up with that rival either way. And it does look like 5 destinations might have lost his speed a little bit the last couple of starts. Could also have to do with the scenario in the race and the post positions that he had. But that is the only other one that has speed. And it's not like John's Protege has speed, just 5 destinations. The speed of the race isn't that fast. I guess it's kind of how you look at it. But he can lay close with 5 destinations. And, you know, 5 destinations lost by double digits at odds of 42 to 1 against John's Protege last time. What makes me think he's going to turn the tables today, just because he has a little bit of a tactical edge in a paceless race. So I'm going to lean towards John's Protege off of the last effort. The numbers are just better than these. And Big Rich, which is the race they both come out of, is better than these. Indy Cowboy, and that was the problem last time, just ran into a lone speed winner on a speed favored racetrack. What are you going to do? That's when you have, I always say, that's when you have ROPs, or horses that dominate and win easy, when they have the right running style for the day, a lack of pace in the race, and talk about speed horses, and a track that's, you know, the favorite running style, and that's the main thing, and being the best horse. So, I mean, Indy Cowboy's not far behind Bobby the Tank talent-wise, but that one just had this big tactical edge on the speed favoring track, we'll say. So he was caught chasing. Actually, I think he ran pretty well considering he was up against it. Likes this distance, obviously. I think he's won both times in the dirt going 6 furlongs. So that's big and for Indy Cowboy, because I think 6 furlongs is probably better for this horse than 5 and 5.5. It's just a matter of pace, flow, and trips here, because I just don't see a lot of pace. And the horse that's really up against it because of that is the 6 Interchanger, and that's been the problem for this horse. He ran a huge effort off of the layoff. It's hard to forget it when he ran a good second going 5 furlongs, not even his best distance. Again, that 6 furlong race last time, they went 47 and change. And they came home, and Big Rich came home in 112. So it's not, I mean, it's not like they came back, and it's not like they slowed down that final quarter. They didn't. So Interchanger was up against it. And then last race, as mentioned with Indy Cowboy, really up against it when you have a lone speed winner on a speed favoring track. What's Interchanger going to do? Again, better chance today with a little easier field, but I just don't see enough pace for this horse to close and win. Maybe he's got enough talent to do so. That's how it looks, though. That starts the pick 5. Okay, 5th race. Scratch the favorite out, the 4, Magic Beach. Also scratch gray-haired Gus, who's been re-entered. So looking at the 5th, you know, Billy at the Gate took all kinds of money. I mean, we see a lot of late money here, and the late money's been good, but this horse was taking money all throughout and didn't have the greatest of trips, and ran a good second in a race that just didn't really set up for him. So I think with getting a race under his belt, a race that doesn't look that tough on paper for Billy at the Gate, any tougher than the race he comes out of, you got to think that this could be the horse to beat in race number 5. Might even break a little sharper in here. The 2 Mama's Middle ran well off of the layoff. I mean, obviously, Billy at the Gate's off the layoff, too, I mean, because it's considered his first start. But Mama's Middle hadn't run since September at Saratoga and ran well. I don't think it was the strongest of special weight races, just chased down Sweet Julian, but was making up some ground on a 47 and change. So if he has any kind of improvement off of that first start of the year, he's going to be tough in here. The one I found real interesting is a first-time starter in this race for Bill Bartlett. Salty Ryan is 15-1 morning line. It's got a work in 35-1, and he's 15-1. They paid $75,000 for this one as a 2-year-old. The other thing is, it's a half to a multiple graded stakes winner, and you're 15-1 making your first start at Finger Lakes. Maybe worth a look. Maybe there's a reason they got this horse such a big price in here. It was bred in Kentucky by Donald Disney. The 5, Stormy's Dreaming, should be closing late. Again, not sure how much of a pace he's going to get to run at here. Another race. I mean, these are the special weights here. There really isn't a lot of pace in here. So if you see some gate to wire horses, let's not make an assumption that speed is real good on this racetrack, because you look at some of these races, there's just not a lot of pace. We'll see what the fractions are. You're going to see some 47s today, I'm going to assume. Maybe Mama's Middle will flash some speed in this race, or Billy at the Gate might be sharper and send out there. But that could be the key. I mean, Stormy's Dream is kind of against it when you look at it that way, because he does have that late closing style in a race that doesn't have a lot of speed. Although you look earlier in his career, he's close up to some quicker paces. You know, maybe he can show a little more speed. There's just not a lot in there. All right, 6th race. Again, we're going to scratch one of the favorites, the 5, Joyful Departure. Okay, well, I had it between Kitty Tintin, I'm a Lot of Lady. Now, Kitty Tintin did win off of the layoff last year. And then, but this horse is off a little bit of a layoff here. Was it since January? So I was a little concerned about that. Does have some decent works, where I'm a Lot of Lady is going to have a fitness edge on that rival. But I thought those were the main two. Maybe Sweet Tooth Sue. There's anything but a winner, though. That horse likes to finish 2nd and 3rd, but might flash with speed. Again, another race. This is a broken record today. Another race that doesn't have a lot of early speed in it, where I'm a Lot of Lady might take the initiative along with Sweet Tooth Sue. I think Sweet Tooth Sue has been aggressive. Sweet Tooth Sue's not that fast, but they do like to be aggressive, especially when they're inside with this horse. That you may see that horse in a second start of the year be a little more aggressive, even though it's 6 furlongs. But I'm a Lot of Lady has some natural speed where she can be out there. And when you're out there with Sweet Tooth Sue, a horse that doesn't finish, I'm a Lot of Lady might take over. I mean, again, she's only got 2 wins. She just recently broke her maiden. I'm not going to say she doesn't like 6 furlongs. As she's hit the board 6 out of 7 times going 3/4, she's just winless going 6 furlongs. Interesting. She may like it. Might be just a problem with the competition. I mean, remember, she was facing a lot tougher before dropping to 5,000. So it was when she dropped to 5,000, she finished 3rd, and then she won twice in a row for 5. They stepped her back up before dropping to 5 last time. And again, it was more the pace flow and the way the track was playing that beat her last time. Go with the 4-2-1. Again, Sweet Tooth Sue, every reason to improve. She just doesn't like to win. And when you got 39 starts with 2 wins, you don't take her on top. But the numbers say she should be there against these horses, that you got to use her in your tries. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. 4-2-1. All right, as tough a one state bred as you're going to see early in the meet. I mean, so far this year, the one state breds haven't been that tough. Then here we go with the route, the toughest one state bred we've probably had so far. Although we do scratch one of the horses that look good in here, and that was Eric from Miami. Looked real good in there. Because when you looked at it, I narrowed it down to 3 horses because they were classiest and then the best numbers. Eric from Miami was one of them. He scratched, so I'm left with 2 of them. Now here's the thing. We have a horse play rabbit in here. You got Mo Trump, who's a pretty good one. He's competitive at one state bred, but I could see this horse being a little more aggressive. I mean, he's going to show speed anyway, but he's going to force Ironman Ira to do a 46 and change half if that's the tactics. And I'm just making an assumption here, because Mo Trump is a speed horse going long, that he is going to play a little rabbit in here for King's Leap for his owner. So he's going to go show speed anyway, but if Ironman Ira is allowed to go 48 again, King's Leap is not going to beat him. Ironman Ira ran off the screen last time going a mile. I think a bunch of them had to shake for this one when they tried to claim the horse, but you won't see a horse win any easier. Now, I'm not saying that King's Leap could be this good. It's hard to gauge. I mean, he had to work to get the win, but that was his first time going long this year, and he can improve off of that race. Talk about King's Leap, although the number wasn't as strong as Ironman Ira's runaway win. But if somebody's going to beat King's Leap, or Ironman Ira's going to be King's Leap. But I don't know how you can have King's Leap at 5-2 and Ironman Ira at 7-2 off of their recent wins. I just can't see it. And I would, if you're going to get that price, Ironman Ira is a good play. But again, it could be one of those things where Ironman Ira looks like the horse to beat, but Ferraro could team up on him. You got a horse that could play rabbit with Mo Trump, and that could turn the tables with King's Leap sitting the trip. If Ironman Ira is forced to go 46 and change, King's Leap is probably the winner. We'll see how they play it here. Pascal Moon is another one that plays maybe not quite like the other two at the distance, because he has been going mostly shorter. He won at 7 furlongs the day he got claimed down in Florida, and he fits the one state bred real nicely. And 5 furlongs is too short for him. So, now you go a mile 70. I think he needs his sweet spots right in between there, like around 7 furlongs. But Pascal Moon's got a little bit of tactical speed to get out there. So, how does he play it? Does he try to be aggressive? But he may work himself into a good trip here. If Mo Trump does play rabbit with Ironman Ira, Pascal Moon can kind of settle in there for third, because he does have that natural speed, and maybe he has an upset chance in race number 7. It turns out to be a pretty good. Again, even though you lose one of the main contenders, it's as tough a one state bred as you're going to get. How about your Ring Good? You're for the waiver claim for 5,000. You say, well, let's take a shot against the one state breds, and that's the field you're going to face. I think that's the only one that doesn't really play in there. All right, last race on the Tuesday. I got to remember it's Tuesday because we didn't run yesterday. Again, we canceled yesterday, and we moved the entire card to Thursday. So if you already handicapped yesterday's card, keep it in your brain, I should say, and just move it to Thursday. I just gotta remember to come in on Thursday. That means no sparring on Thursday. Gotta come in. We scratched the 5. Giant at work. Now, Happy Smiles had some chances. She was here before, but it was in the slop, and she was off a layoff, off of her first start. Man, they certainly bet her like she was going to win that day. But again, you got to give her a little there, because she again, it was she was off a layoff since December of the previous year, and it was November, so she was off 11 months. Does she want to win? I guess that's the question. She was hitting the board a lot. She wasn't getting a lot of respect at the window, but no worse than 4th in the last 5 starts. And she's going off prices like 16-1, 20-1. No respect. And always mention these horses because a few of them ran here. That Serenity Smile side. She's put out some really, really good horses. You're talking about the halves of the Happy Smile. Johannesburg Smile, Stormy Smile, Wildcat Smile, Atlantic Smile. All stakes winners. What's going on with this one? I don't know. Maybe today's the day that she gets through the maiden condition. The tricky read is the 4-year-old here, Castledell, only making her 3rd start as a 4-year-old. And the first time on the turf. First time on the dirt after running on the turf. And that's the interesting thing with this horse. Maybe she doesn't like the turf. She's definitely bred on the dam side for the turf, but not on the sire side. So what do you? They didn't give her a good Tomlinson for the turf, and that's probably why the sire side, because the sire's more dirt sprint, while the dam had a couple halves that won on the turf. I think it was La Monita was the name of the horse that won the Yaddo Stakes, which is a New York bred race on the turf. Again, so there's turf on the dam side, but not on the sire. So maybe, just maybe, she may prefer the dirt. Kind of, maybe it's kind of half that way. That's why it's always interesting when you breed dirt on one side, turf on the other. You're kind of hoping for a horse that runs on all surfaces, maybe runs good on the synthetic. I don't know, but that happens, and it's good breeding. I mean, especially on the dam side. Again, had a couple of the halves that ran very well. We'll see. I mean, this is the first time trying the dirt, and you're going against easier competition, running the mile here on the dirt of Finger Lakes. So we'll see. Light Pond Law, what do you do with this horse? I like the sire, Tis the Law, obviously. Who didn't like that horse? But I got no excuse for her last time. Maybe she just got beat by a better horse. It was a horse coming in that probably was a better horse. My only problem with Light Pond Law, it was a strong speed bias that this horse had an easy lead in. I wouldn't say an easy lead, but had the lead in that race. So how good is she if she was with the bias last time? But again, she got beat by a better horse. This is a race where it looks like she's going to get the lead again. It's her second time going long. So there are some positive angles there, even though I have a negative last time as she was with the bias. But it's not like she didn't run bad. She was with the bias, got beat by a better horse, and it was 8 lengths back to the rest of the field. So she plays. One Good Raisin's a tricky one. She stretches out after just not showing anything. She got caught wide chasing that day, first race over the track. And she ran into a horse that turned out to be really good. ZN, who would have known? The horse didn't take any money, ran big to break his mane. I was really surprised that she came back and looked as good as she did, beating winners against allowance horses in her next start. So maybe we could draw a line through One Good Raisin, maybe stretching out. She could wake up a little bit in here. She should be better going long. So 7-6-4 look like the main three, and then we'll throw in the 3 for fourth. How's that? Oh, that's the last race. Thinking it's Monday, there might be 9 races. Well, it is Tuesday, and remember, we did cancel yesterday. Kind of stay cool up there. Go see Shirley and get a couple drinks at the Wire and play some horses. Remember, the early pick 5 starts in the first. That's a good play. That's the mandatory payoff. The late one, we got 2 pick 5s. The late one starts in the fourth. That one has the carryover if it does carry over. Again, Tuesday through Thursday this week. Then we're back to our normal schedule starting on Monday. Again, 1 o'clock post time every day.
Horses will be coming on the racetrack later than normal due to the heat in the region. Please adjust your wagering patterns accordingly. Don't forget this week that Finger Lakes will be adding Thursday to its live racing schedule. First post on Thursday will be at 1 p.m. We canceled Monday due to the excessive heat, and we'll pick up Thursday for this week. So today, Wednesday, and Thursday, first post at 1 p.m. Late scratch. Scratch number 3, Watermelon Crush. Number 3, Watermelon Crush. Acted up in the paddock. And is a late scratch from this first race. Scratch number 3, Watermelon Crush. There'll be a slight delay in the running of the first race here at Finger Lakes. We apologize for the inconvenience. Ladies and gentlemen, the first race at Finger Lakes has been canceled due to the heat index. Second race post time will happen at around 1:45 p.m. Once again, the first race at Finger Lakes has been canceled due to the heat index. Second race post time scheduled at 1:45 p.m. ladies and gentlemen, the remainder of the card here at Finger Lakes has been canceled due to the excessive heat index. Once again, the remaining part or all of the card here at Finger Lakes on this Tuesday, due to the excessive heat index, has been canceled. We apologize for the inconvenience, and we will attempt to run tomorrow here at Finger Lakes.